constraint in the game industry, which is monetization, market, and all that. And that's where you can see crazy ideas. And as you can see from the official website itself, there are some successful titles that come from Global Game Jam, and not just Global Game Jam, and other game jam as well, such as Surgeon Simulator. So that game was actually a Global Game Jam game. I think Sean Beck himself have made few game jam games that become successful. And in fact, one of the most successful Malaysian made games on Steam was actually part of Ludum Dare Game Jam in 2014 or 13. I can't remember the date. It's called A Dance of Fire and Ice. The game has sold more than, I think, 750,000 copies, which is quite a bit considers how small the team was. Yep. So anyway, so there's a lot of things we want to do in game jam, but generally the first basic principle just make a game over a weekend typically. But this year there's new format of 5 days, and the reason why Global Game Jam decided to go with 5 days because the typical game jam has always been physical, and they thought like going online might produce some issues for people who have intermittent internet connection. So hence why they kind of lengthen it and allow more flexibility for people to actually do in 5 days game jam. But I think any reasonable person don't expect people to not sleep for 5 days. We do not want any news piece coming out of something, a bad incident out of people not having enough rest, right? So please take a rest. And that's why for when Ivan and myself and the team discuss on how to organize it, we make sure that you cannot start tonight. So that's the first rule. You cannot start jamming tonight. You can only start tomorrow. So the reason why, for few reasons. One, we want to buy more time for you to come up with ideas and propose it, or form your team and discuss within the team what the skill sets that you guys have and all that. But more or less, we don't want you guys to win 5 days straight. Again, Global Game Jam is not a competition. In fact, we encourage to only start on Friday, like the usual game jam, where we start at 5 p.m. on Friday and end about 5 p.m. on Sunday, 48 hours in total for submission. And then we do the demo and all that afterwards. So we have about, I think, 57 now. Let me just refresh this page. Do we have more? Yeah, 57 people. 59, so there's 2 more.
Record session as well, by the way, so
Yep.
that later those who miss out maybe can follow up.
Yep. At the moment, we have 59 jammers, and in this call, we have 38. So there's probably about 21 of us who's not here, but we hope they will be able to join or in the Discord soon. We'll definitely blast email to remind them that it has started and provide the recording of this session to them. Okay. So without further ado, just basic concept of what we're gonna do. I'll just share a few things from Global Game Jam themselves. The first one would be this Davis Fire. There's already a question coming on that. Yeah. So this Davis Fire is actually designed to kind of like add a little bit more challenge or constraint, because the belief is that creativity is limitless with constraint. Right? So it's counterintuitive because people thought that creativity is better without constraint, where you have full freedom. But there is a belief that you become a more creative person where you actually have constraint, either resources, either thematically, or either some sort of limitation, where we always have limitation. Even Kojima production will have limitation to build the game that I want to do, right? Yeah, there's always limitation. And limitation can be treated as a good challenge, and to be creative and solve it in a way that you can. So Davis Fire is actually a great way to add a little more fun and challenge to your game jam weekend. And it was introduced, I think, about 7 years ago, where there's a lot of veteran global game jammers participating, and they're like getting bored with just team and everybody making from the same team, right? Because you can imagine about I think last year was what, 50,000 jammers or 100,000 jammers all over the world participated, and everybody make from the same team. So they provide diversifier that can be unique. So here's some diversifier that you can take a look from the link that Ivan have shared. We will repost it on Discord as well. There's sponsored version. So there's a few sponsors that actually sponsored Global Game Jam, the organizer, and there's one that actually has special opportunity of monetary, which is the core, as mentioned by John, and those who actually participated in the core game jam. I think last year, right? And they actually do this thing to encourage people to create games on their platform, which is by Manticore Games, the developer of core platform. There's Unity. Unity make ask you to make a happy place. So you can take a look of this. There's a bunch of that. There's from IGDA Foundation. The rest, there's actually no monetary value. There's also accessibility. So those who want to make games more accessible, there are different kind of thing that allow you to provide challenge to it. There's also art diversifier. So this is things that you can add on top of the thematic theme for Global Game Jam. Audio, code, design, there's plenty of it. I'll just read one example. Design a game where the goal is to fail in as many different ways as possible. Right? So if you make a game about death and respawning, yeah, that probably work. But you still have to fit into the larger theme, which we will play out the video later. There's narrative, there's meta. So you can take a look at this and discuss. Please, I've done Game Jam for the last 10 years. I typically don't add a diversifier for the sake of adding diversifier. I usually make the game first, and then I look at, oh, does my game fit in any of the diversifier? Then I'll just check the box when I submit it. Because to me, I rather make the game that I want to make rather than add on to that. But if you felt like you want to do it, make sure everyone in your team agrees to it, right? Because everybody will have to suffer the consequences of picking a diversifier together. So make sure be fair on that. Okay, that's the team part, which we'll get to shortly. But before we go to the team, we go a bit of our ground rule on how we run Global Game Jam Malaysia, right? So the first one, we will share this registration form for you to register. You already registered on the Global Game Jam website. That's why we can see all 59 of you here. But here is more like our own way to actually do matchmaking. Because when you join this one, you can put in your email, your nickname, your Discord name, especially if your Discord name is a very unique creature. You want to make sure that people can still call you by your nickname rather than gamer hardcore 112245. Yeah, that one's probably a bit harder to pronounce and call you along the way, right? Your participation type, there's individual and pre-form team as mentioned on our page. So you can actually join when we say as individual, it means that you don't have a team yet. You will be working in a team. We don't encourage solo jammers. You have Ludum Dare for that. In Global Game Jam, the whole idea was collaboration. So we truly encourage you to collaborate. The last thing we want to see is for you to jam on your own. Yeah, might as well you pick your own team and then declare your own challenge and make a game over any weekends besides this weekend, right? There's another 51 weekends that you can still make your own game with your own challenge, right? But the whole reason of being part of Global Game Jam was to collaborate. So it's good if you actually can work with other people to actually make a game together. And there's a lot of learning in there. Okay, so individuals meant that you are looking for a team. You don't have a team yet. Preform team means that you already have a team. You and your friends want to make game together. You might want to add more people, but you're not going to let go this 3 to 5 people or whatever number that you have. You're going to work together. You can add more people, but you're not going to break up, right? So if you do a preform team, you need to put in your team name here. We know that you probably don't have a team name yet. Now is the time to start chit-chatting with each other to come up with it. And essentially, the team name is your choice. But this is the fun part that we've been doing for the last, I don't know how long we've been doing this, but 9 years maybe, or 8 years at least, where if you do a preform team, our requirement is that you cannot come up with your own game title, because you have the added advantage of working with people you know or you choose, rather than a team that's formed on the spot. So you basically have to take a look at this, right? So those of you who've joined Game Jam in Malaysia before, you probably have seen this. This is our tradition. So if you be part of preform team, your team will have to generate randomized video game name, and this will be done tomorrow, right? So tomorrow, when we do the pitch and also voting, you will generate this to pick your name. So that's why you cannot start today, even though you have preform team, because chances are one of you guys gonna click this button when you share your screen, and let's say you generate and you got this title for your game, National Lampoon Plungers 1942. So on top of the thematic concept on Global Game Jam, you have to still fit into this title. And the audience, the rest of the participant and the jammers, will be sort of like, they want to see how well you can take the idea. And to be fair, because randomization is something that out of your control, so you get to randomize 3 times, right? So you get to randomize 3 times. So we take note out of the first one, let's say you generate again, this one, and then the third one. So within these 3, you can pick one of it. Well, you only have to pick one of it because that's your game title. And you must submit your game with that title, right? To be part of the Global Game Jam Malaysia. If not, we'll just remove your game from the submission, because sportsmanship, we believe that you have the added advantage of knowing the people that you work with. So we give you an extra challenge, not the diversifier, but more like, can you make a game with the title not determined by your team? And I believe a lot of people who've done preform team, they find it actually quite fun. So they usually tend to get a bit nervous as they randomize the title. But the upon when they have 3, that's where the fun discussion on coming up with game ideas, when you have 3 options and you only have to pick one. So that's where we're going to keep this tradition going on, even online. So you will generate this tomorrow after the pitching, right? So tomorrow we're going to do the pitching for people who don't have a team. For individual participant, they were going to pitch their ideas, and after that, you're going to do your generation, and then we're going to do the voting. So it's kind of in that sequence. Okay. If you have any question, yeah. Oh, what if the RNG name was the same as my previous? Oh, well, you're going to have 3, right? So you don't have to choose the same one. Like, you have 2 more, right? Well, unless all 3 are all the 3 games that you have made, right? And you have submitted on Global Game Jam, we're going to allow you to randomize again if you can prove to us. By the way, for every participant on Global Game Jam, you can actually just click the profile, your own profile. Let's say myself, right? The list of games that you made since 2014 will be listed here. Right. So I randomized the name. I got Engineers Burger Beatdown last year. So yeah, I think this one was also randomized.
They show pre-14 as well, but I think the links are broken because they migrated the website after.
Yep. So basically this, because this one is on the archive website. It's not using the same system. So, but you can still click it. It just goes to the archive linkage at the bottom there. Yeah. So these are all the games that we've made. So that I've made. So if you can prove that, it's the same title, yes, you can randomize again. Hope that helps you. Okay. Are teams assigned by organizer then? No. So we do not assign the team. We believe that it must be a mutual relationship where you want to be part of the team and the team wants you to be in. So the way it's going to work is actually this part where you're going to pitch the game. We'll share a bit more on the pitching. Let me just finish up this part. Part of the registration form, you're going to pick your character class. So basically, we have the basic 5, the most common. Of course, there's a lot more roles in the game development, such as game producer, a production manager and all that. But because in game jams, typically you need some kind of hard skill to actually make the game. So, but you can always select other and write down whatever you felt like it. But at the moment, we have these 5. And you can also do multi-class, dual classing or multi-class. So if you are a game designer that can do 2D and 3D art, you can select this. So there's a question, where do the names come from? Oh, there's actually a website. Yeah, it's randomized. It's called videogamena.me. Yeah, actually we can just share the link here. No point to randomly generate it now. You have to generate it live tomorrow, right? So it's definitely not within your control. So when you generate it live in front of all the other participants and we get to see what you get, we take note of that. You have to only between that 3
I
selection.
think we are generating and then they choose, right?
Depends whether we can allow them to share screen or not. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because we want them to feel the burden of pressing the button, right? You choose your destiny, right?
All right.
Okay. And since we have time, so we're not in a rush as typical game jam. So you can do multi-class, right? You can add more, and the important one is actually the character skills. Especially for those of you who's gonna be in that's coming as individuals, you're gonna form your own team, right? So character skills, you can pick all these. These are some of the common tools that we think is gonna be relevant to decide who you're gonna be working with, because the rarest occasion we have an Unreal programmer working together with a Unity programmer lah. I don't know how that is possible, yeah, but most of the time you will work with people who use the similar tools, especially the game engine. Yeah, even for art as well, between Photoshop and Illustrator, there's difference between raster and vector art. So if you're doing vector art, yeah, you're not going to look for pixel artists lah, right? Or if you're doing pixel art, you're not going to look for vector art, that kind of thing. So all these are among the consideration that you need to do and fill in. So we don't encourage, you don't have to tick every single one of it, right? So only the one that's relevant to you lah. This sort of your character stats. Okay. On top of that, because we cannot be so encompassing and provide the list of all the tools possible, because there's easily 300 game engines that's popular. There's like how many alternatives to Photoshop out there. We don't put it there, but you can actually mention it here. We only put the one that we think it's gonna matter, kind of like decide the decision for you to join the team. And you can generate your avatar. So we actually ask you to actually submit your character avatar. Don't know why, but we felt like it this year. So you can actually click any one of these links, and they actually have this avatar generator.
So Afik from the chat asked, how big can a team get?
How big can a team get? We never limited the team size, but I can tell you is the rules of diminishing return beyond 7, right? So the moment it gets 5 is actually like the sweet spot. The moment it goes to 6, 7, 8, we've had, I think largest team I had was 10. And in that 10, there was about 4 people who work hard, 3 people were playing games, and 3 people will disappear, right? So I mean, you can do that. The only benefit that you did not get is to yourself lah, right? So we just typically don't encourage that, because you want to play a role, you want to learn something new, you want to learn something new. So smaller teams, 5 is like the sweet spot that I've seen teams optimize. You have enough manpower to alternate between sleeps and work. Not too small. Smallest is 2 lah, because we don't encourage solo. Right. So you can pick create avatar. Just show this. What if an individual decided to make games alone? We recommend you to find other game jam sites globally that allow you to do solo and change your game site to them. Right? Because in the spirit of Global Game Jam Malaysia, there's no reason for you not to find a team. Right? And if you want to do your own game jam, you should join Ludum Dare and a lot of other game jams that allow you to do solo. In fact, encourage you to do solo. right? But for the spirit of Global Game Jam, we want you to collaborate. At least one more person, right?
Yeah. So get the artist, if a programmer get an artist,
Yeah.
vice versa.
So example, I pick a character. Yeah, you can pick creator, next, customize, you want to select what, and then next. And then you can save this image and submit this image to the system, to the form. There's plenty of link. You can create pixel. There's so many options for you to create avatar. If you want to draw your own avatar, like Ivan does, feel free. If you don't have the skill sets to actually make your own avatar with art, you can use generator like me. So anyway, so that's as far as the form goes. You need to tick this legal disclaimer from Global Game Jam. But that's about it. Any question about the form so far?
Very blurry at the form. Okay.
Yeah, the quality dropped already.
Yeah, the quality dropped, is it?
Okay.
Yeah, it's blurry from my side also.
Thing says something good to add to the form is GitHub experience.
Yeah, actually, that one, I think you can put it here in the description, tools and trade, because the challenge that not everyone use GitHub. So there's a lot of different concurrent versioning software that you can use, right? And different engine also have different way to sync up tools. But I do take a point that I think some people would prefer to work with people who actually use a specific versioning software, right? And allow you to collaborate. Yep. So you can actually put it in the tools description because chances are you're going to decide that when you form the team, then you can pick the tools of whether you're going to use what platform. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Next is this part. Okay. So this is basically the pitch deck. For those of you going to be individual, we allow you to pitch one idea. We had a bad habit back then to allow you to pitch as many as 3 ideas. That was ridiculous. So this year we are learning. So only 1 idea per person. So this is a pitch deck sample. Yep, you can take a look here. There's the game title, your name as the one who coming out with the idea or proposing this idea. And there's this elevator pitch. So you can read more about what is elevator pitch from the link referred here, right? So there's plenty of reference of what it means to do elevator pitch. It's a good practice as well. For those of you who never done elevator pitch, it's skills that you need to learn on how to make your description interesting enough for people to be interested on your game within an elevator distance, which is about 10 seconds. And we recommend you to come up with a gameplay screen mockup. Okay, I'll just share for those of you not familiar with one by one. Let's go.
Just a moment. Can we use a digital art software that's not included in the character skills?
Of course.
Yes,
of course.
you can.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. Because I could put Krita, could put Spriter, there's like hundreds of other tools, right? But the reason why I only put this two, kind of to tell whether you are a vector art or raster art. Kind of, right?
The text, right, is gone. I don't know why gone case quality seems like drop.
Let me just try to reshare again.
Can you?
Yeah.
Right. So Zaran asked if since the pitch deck says there your name, if it's a preform team, do they put the team's name?
Yeah, you can put the full. Oh well. So typically we don't. You can actually do it as a practice for your team. But you only do that if you actually need to get more manpower. Right?
Yeah, if you're open to get recruiting more people.
Yeah, if you are recruiting more people, then you need to pitch to get more people to join your team. But if you're not looking, you can just proceed to make the game. You can still do this thing as a practice to learn how to pitch if you want to do it, but it's not a requirement because you're not recruiting. So I'll just share quickly an example of one line to load them all, which is the elevator pitch. So you can read on each IO, there was a bunch of game devs who actually talk about it. There's a lot of people commenting as well. So you can take a look on that. But essentially, it's just a few lines of text such as Mondrian. Abstraction in Beauty is a relaxing, procedurally generated 360-degree block-breaking game inspired by art history. So that's an elevator pitch. Is it a good one? Well, depends. We don't know what the game is in detail, so you have to evaluate it on your own. But there's a bunch of links you can take a look. There's even a talk, and from Tiny Bill and all that. There's also gameplay screen mockup. I think this is something that we're having a hard time because usually we had to rush to do it right after dinner, and we try to get the voting done by within the same night, like 12 a.m. So usually this one was always a bit of a rush. So I hope with more time, preform, you don't need to pitch if you don't need to recruit. Okay, so preform don't need to recruit. Well, if you don't need to recruit, you don't need to pitch. If you need to pitch, if you need to recruit, then you need to pitch. Yeah, I'm confusing my words there. But anyway, this is a sample of script UI visual mockup, so you can take a look what it is. There's a few links there. Basically, the idea of gameplay mockup is to come up with a screen that kind of tells how the game plays. Of course, it's not as good as G for video, but within limited time, usually you just scribble. The most primitive way to do it is example like this. This is what you usually get when we give you a mahjong paper, right?
Oh.
So basically, you just take your marker or your pen, you draw. Okay, this is what this game screen is going to be, and it's going to be this character coming on the right and all that. So essentially, just a screen mockup of the game. Don't do the menu, right? No point doing a menu screen mockup because it doesn't tell the game most of the time unless you are playing in a menu, which is possible. Okay, moving on. Overview of gameplay. This is where you're gonna put a bit more details and share about what kind of mechanic features, what kind of power ups, what kind of enemy that you're looking for in the concept of the game. A bit more elaborated, a bit more details. You can have multiple slides of this, of course. And last is actually this part, the team recruitment. So if you are recruiting for a team, if you're an individual, you should recruit a team. You should say something along the line, I'm a game designer that would like to work on the level design for the game, and I'm looking for these 3 people or these 4 people: 1 pixel artist, 1 Unity Unreal stencil programmer, and 2 music composer, for example. Right? So these are the kind of recruitment that you should do. And even if you have a preform team, and then you still need 1 more manpower, you need the audio guy, right? As typically we lack of that. We should have Duncan here. He can do
Everyone's team, is it?
yeah, do all the audio. Or there's a few others who's joining as well. You can that's the reason why we do this form. The character profile, right? So tomorrow we're gonna share everybody's profile, so that we can actually you can know if you need a sound guy, sound or music composer or sound designer, you can find that person, right? Can a team submit multiple games? No, you cannot submit. You can only make 1 game because you already have preform team, right? You're not. You pick the game, you recruit. Yeah.
So just to jump in, so the idea of this pitch is once we announce a team, right? And then this is the time where you take to think about your idea. And this pitch is supposed to get people excited to join your project. Right? It's a recruitment drive. Right? So this is where you sell your idea to strangers. And then later on, Buzz will brief about how people can actually join you.
Yeah. So we will do the voting tomorrow. So your concern now is actually to, if you have an idea. If you don't have an idea, it is fine. Typically in Global Game Jam, I don't come up with my own idea. I always join people's idea because it's more fun that way. Typically, right? So you don't have to come up with an idea. You can just join other people's idea. But if you do have an idea, pick one. If you have 10 ideas, 20 ideas, pick one. You only pitch one tomorrow. So then you can recruit people. And the way we do is that before the way the recruitment happens, that it's going to vote on how many people actually want to work on your project, right? So imagine your game out of, like, let's say there's 50 of us and there's about 50 ideas, for example, one each, and only the top 10 games voted will survive for the second round voting. Usually we do 2 rounds voting at least. One time actually we did 3. So 2 round voting from 10, top 10, all the 50 people have to vote again. All the individual people have to vote again, right? To which game they want to work on. And by the time there's only like 3 to 5 ideas being selected, that's basically the team already. Right? Hence why it is important for you to declare the kind of skill set that you expect or you want to have for your game. Please don't say I need 2 Hideo Kojima there, 1 Shigeru Miyamoto. Yeah, not gonna happen. Right? So be realistic of the kind of expected expertise and skill sets. And of course, game jam is always collaborative effort, so you need to work with the resources that you have lah, essentially. Right? Okay, last one. This is just a template. Feel free to modify your needs, but please make it simple and clear. You can download this as PPTX. There's a button in the link here. You can actually download. Sorry, not here. File download or somewhere. So you can download it and you can submit it to this folder. We will share the link to this deck template later. Any questions so far?
I got one question.
Yeah.
So preform teams, the RNG title only we get tomorrow. That means that tonight we don't need to think anything.
You can start talking to each other about skill sets and
Okay.
and that the theme will be announced this today, but the
The
title is
RNG
tomorrow.
one.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so because the title is still gonna come tomorrow. Yeah, best
Right.
not to work on anything yet.
Okay.
So the least you could do, you can decide platform, like what technology you want to use. You can start your Google folder,
Communication.
communication. You can start sort of set some expectation lah and all that.
Right.
Tomorrow you can start together with the preform team and also the pitching.
Okay.
Right? Because if we allow you to randomize today, that means you have 1 extra day. Right? And that's not fair. It's not fun. Even though it's not a competition, but it's like to see everybody stressed out by the limited amount of time that is fair for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the team, right? Tomorrow, once everyone pitched out their ideas, then all the teams can join already.
So you can join any teams, right?
Yeah.
You can say, I want to work on this game, right? You like that game, you want to work on the game. Tend to be really, the game will reject extra manpower, right? Unless the game is already like 10 people, right? But usually it's not lah. So we always calculate how many individuals, and we make sure that each team can have between 3 to 5 people on average. So the number of games that we will decide tomorrow as we know more lah, how many ideas we have, right? And how many individuals as well that we have, right? Okay, so that's about it. Any other question? Yeah, so pitching tomorrow at 8 p.m. Voting will be briefed tomorrow as well before the pitching. We'll have links and all that. But you need to submit by 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Idea submission is by 5 p.m. to this link.
So we need to process the thing.
Yeah, we need to know, we need to queue it up. We need to make sure that you be there to explain and pitch your game. You will be pitching it, not us. So yeah, on that part.
All right. So I guess we move on to the keynote.
Yep. So let's play the video. And let's see.
Final year project simulator.
This is post FYP content.
Relive the trauma. Is it?
Legacy DLC.
Okay. All right. I think we start your thing.
Yeah, a bit laggy.
Yeah.
Try again.
No RAM again. Right?
Yeah, not sure what's happening. The internet should be fast. I'm on 1 Gbps line.
Is your
time.
Wait, is your Zoom like browser kind of? Oh wait, Of course, app. What am I saying?
Let me try again. Stop share.
Stop share again. Yeah. I think it's slow. It bogs down cache.
Maybe not full screen it.
Like it. Someone say turn off the webcam.
Yeah, let me just turn off my
Okay, we turn off.
Buzz, try turn off your webcam.
Yeah, it is lagging on my side. Sorry. Ivan, maybe you can play on your side.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah, it was okay earlier, but yeah,
Okay, give me a second.
it's causing the lag.
Let me. Oops. Give me one moment to find where I put it. Okay.
Yeah, the zoom
Okay, hold on. Share my screen. Okay, can see it?
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oops.
Core makes it easy to get started with creating games using built-in construction kits that come preloaded with game logic, UI, and no-fuss multiplayer for the most popular genres. You can remix and mod an existing game for your friends or create a masterpiece from scratch. No coding is required. With the help of our online tutorials, you can make your first game in 10 minutes. When you're ready, your game will be instantly hosted on the Core platform, where it can be discovered and played by gamers around the world. Core also offers creators options to help them find an audience and even make money from their games. To get started creating games, go to coregames.com, register, download and install Core, and start your journey into game development with our free Core Academy courses.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kate Edwards, and I'm the Executive Director of the Global Game Jam organization. And I would like to welcome you to the 2021 edition of Global Game Jam online this year. You know, back in early 2020, when the pandemic was breaking out, we really wondered if we were even going to be able to have this event this year. And we debated it internally and we discussed it with the community. And honestly, it's you in the community that really drove us to find a solution and to pivot to the online format. And this is where we are today. We are actually holding this event, and the level of engagement and the level of support that we have seen from the community is just overwhelming. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you for being part of this event. I know it means a lot to a lot of you as much as it means to us in the organization. We're just so happy that we're able to run this event again this year with all the precautions that we've had to do and with all the shifting with the online format. Our hope is that you're going to enjoy this event just as much as you have any other year, despite the change in format. And let's hope that next year, 2022, we will actually back on site with each other, seeing each other face to face, working shoulder to shoulder. But for now, I wish you a great jam, and for all the same jam rules that apply in terms of taking care of yourself and pacing yourself and getting enough rest, don't forget, even though it's virtual, those things are still very important. So welcome again, and thank you so much for being here.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. Well, hello, friends. My name is Guy Blomberg, also known as Yug, and I am here to tell you a story from the garbage fire of the year that was 2020. Now, I used to run big events like PAX and EGX and Comic-Con, and you remember those things, right? Physical events. Well, when it became clear that they were very quickly going to be not a thing for quite some time, I realized the industry was going to need a way to quickly and easily connect in another meaningful way. So I created the Games Industry Gathering that replicates the vibe of being at a bar during a big gaming event where you can catch up with old friends and meet up with new colleagues, except in a much safer environment. Now, when I originally created this, it became clear I would need others to help me make it. So I reached out to friends from the US, the UK, and Germany to help run it. I talked to a friend in Australia who built the Discord for it. I partnered with organizers of other events in Germany, South Africa, Sweden, Indonesia, China. I talked to people from diversity organizations like PSC in Play and Latinx in Gaming, Women in Games International, Queerly Represent Me, and a whole bunch of others about making sure that the space was inclusive, welcoming, and diverse. My point is, to truly create something great, you need to surround yourself with other talented people. And that might seem really difficult when it's hard to even meet up with other people in person at the moment. It's a very similar ethos to the Global Game Jam. Bring people with shared interests and passions together to collaborate and learn. And by doing it virtually, you may be surprised how a different perspective can create unique opportunities. So the Games Industry Gathering now has a membership of almost 3,000 gaming professionals from all around the world. And last year raised over $30,000 for the IGDA Foundation and their support of underrepresented developers. Now, this virtual get-together only happened because of the people who virtually got together to create it. So I want to wish you all the very best in creating. I think people are coming back from their break. Oh, they're on mute. Sorry.
So I just got the latest video of
Go in.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, you're all on mute. Sorry. Look, I just want to take this moment before it even gets more chaotic, to send you all back to your breakout rooms. But thank you all for joining, and for everyone at the gig and the GGJ organizers, we want to say to all those taking part in the Global Game Jam with friends, colleagues, and complete strangers, good luck.
Good luck.
All right. I'm passing it back to Buzz. Where's the name?
Hello. Yep. So that's it. The theme is announced already. So I think it's lost and found, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was few question earlier. You can actually this year the rules are a bit different. So you are allowed to share about the team. In fact, they already publicly announced it. In fact, some of you already watched it before. The together we watched it together just now. I have not watched it. That was my first time. So and I think regardless, because we're not gonna start today, so chill out, absorb it. Usually this is where the teams usually rush. They're like, oh, we have to come up with an idea by 12 a.m. and then by tomorrow is the game will be done. No, you don't have to do that because it's 5 days now. So today, the whole point was just to absorb, figure out what you want to do, what you want to propose, what you want to pitch, and just to clarify, you will not be assigned a team. So there's still questions asking that, how do we know which team we been assigned? No, there's no assignment. You choose the team that you want to work by voting, right?
All right.
And how many ideas will get selected, we don't know. We only know until all of you guys submitted the Jammer registration, so we know how many individuals there are. Because preform team, we consider that almost complete. They might want to add 1 or 2 manpower, but we will work with the base of the individuals and we go around there lah. So for preform team, because you're not gonna have an idea yet to pitch, right? Because I just realized that part, because this is the first time we're doing in between 2 days, right? Because you don't have your title yet, right? Currently, you still don't have your title, which means you can't really come up with a pitch deck, right? So technically, which means that if you need manpower, your manpower will come after the voting time, right? So there will be few people who still deciding, and if you want to work on a game, and because everybody will be watching what game you pick, because when you select the title that you want to work on, right? So people can actually join your team based on the title alone, right? If they like your funky title that you got from the random name generator, and they want to work with you, and you want their skill set, let's say they need a 3D artist or a sound composer and all that, you can still be part of it. Yes, individual idea, one idea.
So a question from Chandra is that, can you upload your profile picture, your real profile picture instead of avatar?
That's your call. So if you want to use your actual face, yeah, fine. Because Discord don't actually have a profile photo anyway. But if you think you want to upload that, yeah, sure, no problem. You want to upload your gamer profile photo, yeah, sure, no problem. If you want to generate, yeah, is anything goes. Yeah, make sure it's tayangan umum or public viewing, right?
Just to let you all know, right? For communication sake, right? You'll be using Discord for the most part. Although if I can, we will be also posting in the Games HQ community group and such. But for the most part, we'll be focusing on Discord.
Yeah.
Right. Later on, once we narrowed down the themes that the ideas, right? We'll be creating rooms for you all, right? Inside within the Game HQ Discord, in order for you to you can use it if you want to, right? We encourage it, but it'll be then that's where you will talk to people who want to join your team lah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. On top of that, if you actually want to make a preform team and you want to recruit now, rather than waiting for the idea, you can also start recruiting in the chat. You can just ask, hey, I'm looking for this kind of skill set to work together, and you can just chit chat first, and then by tomorrow, if you guys still want to work together, you can submit, update your form to be within the team lah. So tomorrow we are using Zoom still because there's more than 50 people. So sadly, Discord does not support 50 in the same room. So we only use Discord throughout the jam where you split it. So tomorrow will still be Zoom, and on Sunday during the demo it will still be Zoom as well. Right? Can you submit your pitch to Discord for others to see? Yeah, sure. I mean, it's all yours. If you want to share it early, I don't see a reason to not. Even if you want to ask for feedback, it's not a pitching competition. So you want to just share your pitch there early and then ask feedback or whatever. Yeah, that's fair as well. Team does not have size limit. Yep. But like I say, anything above 7 is the law of diminishing return, where there will be people who did not get to have a good experience because things are moving differently lah. So we do not encourage individual jammers. So like I say, when we say individual, right, you are an individual looking for a team. You can propose your game title, Arif. You can propose your own game title, but ultimately when you get your team together, right, chances are someone can come out with a cooler name than yours. Then it's among you guys to decide, lah. Right?
There's a question from Links. If all the teams are full and there are a bunch of people without a team, how would that go?
So usually, what will happen is that, okay, when you do the voting, right, we will, because there's going to be a lot of ideas, but we're not going to work on 50 ideas, right? So chances are there's only about 5 to 7. So it's very hard to not fit in. But let's say if there is a case that your skill set happens to not meet in any of the team that exists, like you can dance, right? And there's no game that's doing about dancing, and then you don't know how to fit in. So chances are what's going to happen is that we're going to allow you to work on hopefully you pitch something, and we're going to try to recruit people to join your pitch, right? Otherwise, recommendation, find another jam site that allow individual submission. You still can game jam. I mean, it's virtual anyway. You can pick Lithuania or any other. There's like hundreds of game jam site. So you don't have to submit to Malaysia, right? It's kind of cool to submit it to New York, right? But yeah. So yeah, strongly discourage individual jammers. We don't see a reason why you want to jam Global Game Jam alone. You want to do that, there's Ludum Dare, there's other competition that allow solo game jammers and even encourage it. Go do that, right? I'm still seeing question. There are no, okay, Global Game Jam is collaborative. There are hundreds of other game jams that allow solo participant, right? You can check out this thing called Ludum Dare. In fact, Ludum Dare happens like three times or 4 times a year. Yeah, so you definitely enough time for you to join the solo game jam.
4 times.
Yeah, and we used to be the one that organized every single one of it until
But now
it's too much game jams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jam really.
Tired of seeing the same faces.
You all are playing the solo game.
I think the problem was there was just too much game jam. That year, you guys participated in like what 7 or 8 game jams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just too much. I think 3 is max. Right? So yeah, and Global Game Jam is the most casual one lah.
Right.
So by individual jammers, I mean those who will have to pitch their game. So tomorrow pitch is mostly individual. The idea when we say individual means that you can come up with your own idea and you are looking for a team. So you can still pitch your idea. Doesn't mean you get to work on it. So Arif, just to clarify, if you have an idea, doesn't mean you get to work on it. You will work on what the rest of the jammers agree to work together on, because you still need to form a team. But let's say you die want to make that game, right? What you can do is like what Nick Mirza mentioned. You can post in the Discord chat, this is my idea. I'll pay you 1,000 ringgit if you work with me, right? Or solve problem. So there will be a few people who'll do it for the money, right? But for the rest of us who don't want the money and want to jam for the sake of making games together, then the voting and pitching will be the way lah. But if you do that, you are considered as pre-formed team, right? Which means you have to randomize the title. Right. All right.
Any more questions?
Yeah, any more
the
concerns?
audience?
So I'm posting up a lot of stuff on the Discord. Also, do remember that you need to register also on the official Game Jam site, the one with the how do I describe it? The white color website, the official Global Game Jam one. Because later on when we submit the games to the actual server, right? Your ID will be tied to those games, lah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. For pre-form team, minimal is 2. Yes, correct. At least you are collaborating with someone, right? Then it's still within the spirit of global. Even that the second person is like your twins, right? Yeah, sure. It's fair and game because you are still 2 different individuals, right? So you can do whatever you need if you want to recruit early. Yeah, do that. You can share in the groups your deck, right? So make sure you are on the Discord because we only do Zoom tomorrow 8 p.m. and Sunday 8 p.m. as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We keep it at that time.
Yeah. Same time.
All right. So if that, any questions?
Yeah. Any more questions?
I didn't know. I think everyone more or less brief lah. The video for this briefing will be put up as well afterwards on whatever channel I can find, right? In case some people missed it or couldn't catch up lah, right? So we might actually see more people still roll in and join because traditionally it starts on Friday evening.
Friday 5 p.m. and at 5 p.m. Yeah.
So some people might still be on that time.
Oh, yeah, forgot to mention. So please bear in mind, even though that you can start after tomorrow, right? But please note that not everyone here are ready to jam throughout that period of time. So some of them still have work, so they might still have to go to work on Friday. So the worst case scenario, they should be able to join Friday after work hours onwards. Yeah. But even then, be flexible. People might have things happen on the weekend. They need to bring their cat to veterinary or something. I don't know. But yeah, if they need to go, they need to go lah. I mean, there's life beyond game jam. So just don't be the not so nice person. Yeah, don't be the not so nice person to like, oh, you must be here. Why are you asleep?
I think a good way to solve that is like whenever you're forming teams later, right? Also consider your commitment. I mean, like how much time can you actually put into it? Then share that with your team, right? I think it's only fair. Like, okay, guys, I got a kid. I'll only be available this kind of time to this kind of time. I'll be on Discord at what kind of time? Because I think especially those with families and such, right? I think this is going to be a much more difficult situation, right? Yeah. All right. So as you make teams and you meet people, right, do consider what you're willing to also commit, right? Even if the short time doesn't matter, but as long as your teammates are aware of the time you can put in, I think there should be no issue, lah.
Yeah, we have had jammers who come in. The only contribution to the team was to make the most beautiful cover screen for the main menu.
Yeah.
And that's fair, right?
Yeah.
And he or she was credited accordingly, lah, right? Some people just come in, do sound effect. Some people don't come in, do voice acting. There's so many ways to be part of a game development process. And I think, yeah, we encourage people to not be harsh. Yeah, especially tomorrow is Thaipusam public holiday as well. So some of us might be celebrating. So please be respectful of their time off, lah, essentially, right? Hence why we don't start until tomorrow night. Because else, yeah, we're not friendly to our friends, right?
All right. So I guess no other pin the Discord messages. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll pin up. I'm still a Discord noob, so that's why I got my team with me. Okay, how many pin?
Okay.
Freelancers this I think there would be. So for those of you who are like for example, what Tatsumi Jin said, are there any freelancers this round? I think there will be a lot usually, right? People who maybe don't want to give ideas, they just want to participate. So
they want to help everyone.
Yeah, can introduce yourself in the group as well.
Yeah.
In the Discord, no problem. You use that to have a casual chat lah.
But
sorry.
Please make sure you at least help one team.
Yeah.
Because if you don't help any team, they can't credit you and they add you as part of the submission. So that would be bad for you lah. So at least help one team. Yeah. So if you are freelancers, like I think usually our audio guys tend to be the multi-group one. They usually are in a few groups because they can do like 3 background music within 2 days, right?
High in demand.
High in demand.
Yeah. So if you all need any like assistance on Discord, like forming rooms or chat rooms and stuff, right? You can speak to any one of us, lah. Right? Okay, your name is different. So Thomas is Jojo Maru.
Oh.
Right? John is John. I am Arbak. Am I Arbak? Yes.
No, Ivan.
I'm Ivan. Okay.
I'm Bas as well. I've changed it to.
Bas is Bas. Ivan is Ivan. John is John.
Oh,
Thomas is Jojo Maru. Right? So if anything, you can just feel free to message us. We are also on Facebook and such lah, and we'll try to respond to you as soon as we can. All right. Okay, so if there's no other things, then I will probably we'll be waiting for your submission for your pitch at about 5 p.m. tomorrow. Then we'll compile them, right? And then 8 p.m. we'll start the pitching session.
Yep.
All right, and after that we'll do team formation and randomizing of the names and stuff like that, and then we proceed from there, and we can start reading. Okay.
Yep.
Anything add to it? No.
Nope. All good.
No. All right, then I will end this session currently. If you have any other further questions, feel free to contact us on Discord. It will be up throughout the next 5 days. Okay. All right. So thank you very much for joining, guys. We'll see you guys during the pitching. Okay.
Yep. All right. Goodbye.
All right. Ciao.
Lost and found.
Lost and
Lost
found.
and found, right?
Yeah, lost and found.
I thought that's the right movie.
Just reminding them of the team.
The will to live.
Have good dreams of lost and found. So see you guys tomorrow.
It's not as ambiguous as last time, I feel.
Well, there's still a lot of interpretation of what is lost and found, and I think this year with the pandemic station, they picked that for a reason.
I lost my mind.
It's more interesting what you found. It's more interesting what you found, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Raymond, I lost my heart. Walao.
Do you found Nirvana? Yeah.
Must find back.
My room is messy and I lost my stuff in my room. I can't find it.
That can be definitely a valid interpretation. Anyway, have fun.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll chill until the room empties.
See you. Bye-bye.
Guys, see you tomorrow.
See you.
Yeah, see you guys on Discord.
Yeah, see you guys on Discord.
You know, 38 people here. Wow, okay.
You can end and kick people out lah.
I'm just looking at,
let them live naturally.
yeah. Bring.
Use the power. Make life easier rather than 50 people have to click, and you click one time, everybody leaves. So
No,
instead,
who fell asleep halfway through? The one that didn't leave, they're probably not at their desk. Wow, shrinking. Right.
Okay, so music to our ears.
Almost.
You believe in just like our music? Yes.
Song of our
A
people.
lot of new gens. Hey, Crystal, Justin are here.
Hi there.
Is Edison here? No.
I think they are rushing for the game, right?
Justin never misses game jam.
Yeah.
I see Eric for a moment. My own teammate.
That's right, Ethereus. Okay. All right, I'm going to close it already. I'm going to upload the briefing later. Okay, I'll catch up with you guys soon. I'll see you guys on Discord then.
Okay, till tomorrow. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Hey, so, discuss later. All right. Ciao.